Welcome back to A Moment of Zen, my beautiful people, right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. We are live from Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City, and I'm sitting in the famous Top Golf with breathtaking views. And in just a bit, we're going to be chatting with Ovation Hall's headliner, Glenn Burtnick. Now, Glenn has been a staple of the Jersey Shore rock scene since the 1980s, but his career path hasn't always been a linear one, as he often goes down unusual paths for a mainstream artist, appearing in a variety of Beatles tribute acts, most notably in the Broadway production of Beatlemania, where he took on the role of Paul McCartney alongside rocker Marshall Crenshaw, who played John Lennon. Now, beyond his days at the Jersey Shore and mimicking the Fab Four, he also did several runs as a member of the band Styx in both the lead guitar and bass roles. He also earned a reputation as a skilled songwriter, penning tunes for Randy Travis, Don Henley, and Patti Smith, among others. Sometimes Love Just Ain't Enough is one of my absolute favorites, and he's written that one. Now you can catch him right here at Ocean Casino Resort in Glenn Burtnick's Summer of Love concert series. Now, the concert is a unique concept that celebrates the music of the Woodstock era. And that was a pivotal moment in music history that defined what became known as the counterculture generation. The show features tribute acts replicating the looks and sounds of artists such as Janis Joplin, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Tina Turner, Sly and the Family Stone, Jimi Hendrix, The Doors, and so many others. Now, the show runs every Friday and Sunday through August 29th, right here at Ocean Casino Resort's Ovation Hall. Welcome to the show, Rockstar. Now, you have continued to perform the Beatles music and other tribute acts, and you were in Beatlemania. And my question to you is, why the strong Beatles connection?
Well, I am that age that I remember sitting in my family living room with my folks and my older brothers, siblings, and when the Beatles came on, Ed Sullivan, and it kind of set off a cultural explosion which affected my life and everyone I know. It's a shadow that has cast over our pop culture ever since. And it's, basically the Beatles have been the soundtrack of my life, as has the music of the Woodstock generation.
What's your favorite Beatles song?
Wow. That's hard. There's so many great ones. Offhand, I would have to say It's Getting Better is a really good one.
And that's such a fitting song for the time that we live in right now with COVID-19 and post-pandemic. And where we are right here at Ocean Casino Resort at Ovation Hall, making sure that it's getting better. And you are headlining. Now, this is such an accomplishment, because to be able to almost be reborn essentially in a time where the world seems to have come at a standing halt, and now here we are, and you have this amazing summer, this amazing opportunity in front of you. I have a question based on me being a millennial. If you could collaborate with one new generation artist, who would it be?
I would say Billie Eilish. I think she's super talented, her and her brother. And I really like her music a lot.
She's awesome. She has this deep, raspy voice. She has the ability to kind of sway both ways, if you know what I mean. And that's kind of the voice that we love, kind of like you.
Well, something like that, I guess.
Now, do you prefer the group dynamic or working as a solo artist?
Well, I think they each have their strengths and their weaknesses. It's certainly more inspiring when you are interacting with other musicians and collaborating. But also, when you're working alone, you can really get to the point and do and say what you want to say. So I think they each have their strong points.
Well, as a strong point, you are a songwriter, and that is one of your strong points. Has COVID been a time of creativity for you, or has it been more of like falling into a dark place, so to speak? Because a lot of artists, I'm an artist myself, I have a lot of friends, a lot of musicians, a lot of them fell into this, this rut of just kind of repetitiveness and like a darkness, while others used it personally I did myself. I developed my whole show during COVID. I used it as a time of rebirth, and I made the best of it. You know, God gives you lemons, you make lemonade. What was your take on this for your creativity?
I think it was a great challenge. It's like, okay, if you consider yourself a creative person, and by the way, I think that this is true of everyone, not necessarily just artists, but it it kind of demanded a certain creativity of, okay, how do you want to spend your life? How can you react to this era where uh, you, you you're not going back to your regular routine, but you have time on your hands? How do you want to spend it? How do you want to enrich your own life? You know, and I'm sure it was a little depressing at first, maybe for most people, but for me, it was just like, okay, Glenn, you think of yourself as an artist, well then create and find new ways to create. And I enjoyed that challenge, that assignment, and I actually got a lot done. I enjoyed it.
I love it that you called it an assignment. I almost felt like it was an assignment for me as well, almost like God gave us an assignment to really kind of figure things out and kind of take a couple of steps back to go so many more steps forward. And I think that with all the changes happening between Ocean Casino Resort, between Ovation Hall, between this amazing Summer of Love concert series that you are headlining and involved in, this is an epic moment for you. And I just heard today that you became a grandfather, so congratulations.
Thanks.
And you know what? My last question in under 1 minute. If you can go back and change one bad decision that you made in your life, what would it be?
Wow. One bad decision. I've made no bad decisions in my life. How about that? I really, I feel like this is the path. This is the path that I was meant to take. And I have no regrets. I'm happy.
You passed the test, my dear friend. That was the right answer. I can tell you for a fact, I ask this question all the time. And when people actually go back and give me the this and that, I think to myself, well, that's great exposition, but not so much for entertainment, because the one thing that we can all bank on is being able to pride ourselves on the decisions that we have made and stand behind them. And if you can wholeheartedly say that you've made no bad decisions and you're exactly where you're supposed to be, then guess what? You have just paved the way truly for the Concert of Love music series. And that's what you're here to do back in Atlantic City, and your next chapter begins. So thank you so much for being on our show. It means the world to me because you, my darling, are a headliner.
Thank you.
And now you've heard it all right here on A Moment of Zen, live from Ocean Casino Resort at Top Golf Swing Suite. You're listening to Zen Sam's on 710 WOR, the voice of New York. We'll be right back after this. That was the legendary Glenn Burtnick.